All right, new episodes of Ancient Aliens on History Channel every Friday. Giorgio A. Tsoukalos here to chat all about it. And he's also on tour. So thank you so much for your time today. It's a busy, exciting time for you.
Well, thank you so much for having me back on. And you're right. I just got back from Des Moines, and in 2 days I'm leaving for California. So it's good to be busy. If you remember, we were stuck at home for a couple of years a few
Yeah.
years ago. So I prefer this over the other any day.
Any day, also, getting to enjoy those episodes on television, but also bringing that conversation to audiences, across the country and doing this, leg of the tour all the way through December.
Yes, and so Ancient Aliens Live is a stage show with which we crisscross the United States, and it's basically a 90-minute immersion into an Ancient Aliens episode where we show photos, video clips, we have discussions and a Q&A at the end. And so any fan of Ancient Aliens, this is like your Super Bowl. So you get to see myself, Jason Martell, William Henry, and Nick Pope, and we explore some of the ancient astronaut evergreens, shall I
Yeah.
say. But we also talk about the modern day UFO phenomenon as well.
That's amazing. I want to ask you if you saw the Emmys this past weekend with the shout out to the History Channel.
Absolutely. And my phone blew up, and I'm sorry. Look, Ma, we made it. So
That was,
I laughed. I was wonderful.
yeah. No, it's also a testament to the popularity, of the series and the conversations that people are having. Tell us a little bit about this new season.
So we are currently in our new season, and this Friday, the new episode that airs is called The Abduction Files. And in this episode, we discuss the fact that abductions are not necessarily just a modern day phenomenon, but abductions have been happening for thousands of years. So if you look at Enoch, Abraham, Baruch, Elijah, all of these guys were taken up. Some of them returned, some of them did not. And so we're told that, oh, all these things are just stories with which our ancestors explained their place in nature, or to explain things. But in reality, if you look at all the different factors of those descriptions, then for all intents and purposes, those could be ancient abduction stories by extraterrestrials. And so, if this is happening today, the idea that we are now first falls by the wayside, because this has happened for thousands of years. And in this particular episode, we are going to prove exactly that with circumstantial evidence.
Talk a little bit too, especially around this time of year, obviously, Halloween and people start, kind of get into that spirit. I mean, is there more, connection either on social media or more engagement that people kind of are maybe more open to hearing about this, or, kind of, as far as I know how that goes for, from your perspective.
I don't know if it is season related, but
Yeah.
I think it is related to, I think also, I mean, we've just had the third congressional hearing in the US Congress about UAP slash UFOs a few days ago. And they showed a really amazing videos, one of which is this object traveling at breakneck speed being hit by a Hellfire missile of ours, breaking into multiple pieces, and then the three pieces trailing behind start traveling with the other bigger object. And then the video clips. Now, my speculation is, first of all, I'd like to ask, why was that video clipped? Where is the rest? Because in my personal speculation and in my thinking, I think the reason why that video was clipped is because those three pieces trailing the bigger piece will ultimately rejoin. And so that is technology that, for all intents and purposes, as far as I understand, nobody on earth has.
Yeah.
And if somebody has it, I hope it's us. So, but it's all very, very, very exciting. And, I mean, I think I've told you this before, but had you told me 30 years ago that there would be congressional hearings in Congress, in US Congress, about UAP and UFOs, I would have said, that would be wonderful, but that will never happen. And here we are. So a paradigm shift has happened. And I think that we are, as a society, we're ready. We can handle the truth.
Yeah, I mean, especially seeing the congressional hearings and hearing kind of these two worlds come together. I'm sure that just increases more interest in the shows and people reading about it and wanting to talk about it and engage in it and watch the episodes.
Yeah, and there is something to be said for the phenomenon because the US military a few months ago released a report in which they openly admitted that 99% of all the drone sightings, of all these UAP sightings, 99% is not only explainable, but likely US military technology. And that still leaves open that 1%. And in that report, they say, we don't know what that is. And I'm referring to these orbs of light, these objects that go from, let's say, 10,000 feet to 85,000 feet in under 1 second. What is that? Who can do that? Are we fantasizing? Are we all under collective hypnosis? So these videos exist. What is it? And so the mysteries are not over. In fact, they've only just begun, in my opinion.
And catch those new mysteries every Friday on the History Channel. Giorgio, thank you so much for your time today, and hopefully we'll see you back in the Chicagoland area very, very soon.
Absolutely. And thanks so much for having me on again. It's always been a pleasure with you. Thank you.
Great to see you. Thank you.